Hello everyone. I have had lots of consistent questions about my fascia video and specifically to how am I actually connecting now the fascia to the joints. So the question is, well, how? How do you connect to the joints? Is it through Qi? Is it through physical kinesthetic sensation? Or is it through E, through intention, the use of the mind? And my answer is yes, it's all of the above, but also don't overcomplicate it. And so I thought I would just do a demonstration first with the table to get you to think in more simple terms. And then I'll bring in Alex and we'll do it together if you have a partner. If not, you can just continue with the table. And we'll learn how to connect your touch to the fascia, then to the joints, and then be able to lightly move someone. If I touch the top of this table, then I am touching the top of the table, right? However, am I not also, in theory, connecting to and touching the feet of this table? In other words, it's all one whole piece. So because I'm touching here doesn't mean that's really the only place that I'm connected to. And that's how you need to think about it when you're touching an individual and getting to their fascia. Now, this table certainly doesn't have fascia, but I can still demonstrate because it has a high center of gravity and it's lightweight. If I place my intention and my awareness right here on the touch, then when I try to move the table, I have moderate success. I'll just be sliding on top of the table because I'm here. And in our effort, we need to not be where we're touching. This is one of the functions of connecting to the joints and going all the way down to the feet, is that we're shifting our awareness off of the point of touch. For those of you that follow me, you know I'm constantly saying, place your mind in the not obvious. Well, you have to, what's obvious is this. So we don't want to be here. So what I do is I place my mind all the way down to the feet. I am connected to that. This is connected because this is all one piece. So if I put my awareness there and I'm just sort of traveling in my mind down to the feet of this table, then when I move it, it's so much easier. So call it physics, call it leverage, call it whatever you want. It matters not to me, whatever works for you. But the main point is when you touch, especially a human being, and all that soft tissue and the fascia, there's these connections. So I'm touching the top of the table, and I'm also connected to the feet because the table's all one piece. Then I just put my awareness down there rather than here at the contact point, and then I can move this table more easily. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. So now let's try it on a real human being. So if you have somebody that you can practice this with or explore with, then go get that person. And we'll try this together with connecting the touch to the fascia, then the fascia to the joints. Be right back. Okay, so I have Alex here and I'm going to be demonstrating the how we connect the fascia to the joints and relating it to the table, okay? So if I touch him, and let's imagine the table lesson, and I put my mind right here at my touch, and I try to push him, then it's not going to be successful. And, right. So when you do this, what you want to do is you first get that shearing and you get the fascia. And oh, okay. It's hard for me to go slow-mo. And so I immediately shift my awareness from this is interesting to teach. So off of the top of the table, and I'm obviously very quickly going down to his feet. So I get the fascia, and once I get the fascia, then yes, I sense his elbow, I sense his shoulder, and the more I go upstream, and when I mean upstream, I mean more to the center of his body and his joints and under the feet, then the less physical feedback loop I get, and the more I guess I'm using this intention, which is called E, or Y-I-E. Just like at the table here, if I touch the table, I have a big sensory feedback loop. And I can maybe even feel right here because it's close in proximity. But the more I get down to the feet, the more I'm just sort of imagining and traveling down to the feet with my mind. So to answer the question, yes, it's physical, because first you have to get the fascia connection. I'm not going to engage it yet. Secondly, then I'm getting that feedback loop by bypassing or not paying attention to where I'm touching and going to his elbow. I can feel the elbow, then I can feel the shoulder, and then the more I go down to the feet, the less it really is a sensory feedback system and more just using my mind. So it is kind of a combination of everything. So I'm going to try to step it through and slow my process down. So I have fascia, I have his elbow, his shoulder, then I go down to maybe the quad, and then the feet. Careful there, don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in summary, it is a combination of all three aspects. And it's the touch, go past the touch. If I put my awareness right here, I can't move him. And he really doesn't know when I'm going to engage. So if I have my mind right there, that's like having your mind right here, so it's not as effective. So once I shear, then I get to the elbow, and then it just, yeah. Okay, careful, I'm afraid you're going to go off the back end there. So. I'll catch your fascia. Alex asked a great question, and I thought, well, that's a super duper good question. Can you rephrase? Or
Yeah, since this has no electrical system, how can you feel all the way through to the different parts?
And when he refers to electrical system, he's talking about like our bioelectricity. All right, so go ahead and just touch the top of the table for me. What do you feel? Just don't overthink it.
I feel the top.
The top of the table. So that is where our tendency is, right? To go right to where we're touching. It's part of our wiring system. But as you touch that table, because the table's all connected, aren't you technically also connected to the feet of the table?
I don't know.
And that's right.
I think if I push it over, I'm using it all, but
yes,
I can't say I feel the feet coming up.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of the pads at the bottom.
Well, no, that's not it. Okay, so just if you were to try to push the table just with the top of the table, you don't have as much success. You could do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, just put your awareness, put your awareness down at the feet of the table, because it's all connected as one piece.
Okay.
And now push it.
I don't know.
Any difference for you?
Yeah, but I don't do this all the time, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so to answer your question, because of the bioelectricity, yes, I can absolutely, and the soft tissue and the high ways that the soft tissue runs, it is more plausible and actually credible that I'm contacting here, but I'm also able to run it down to your feet.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay, and the table is just a prop. But
right.
to teach getting your mind away from the point of touch, because if you're just here, it's like trying to
push a big by physical strength.
Yeah, and push from the top. But because it is.
I see.
Yeah, because it's connected, you can also push from the bottom and connect the feet. It's so interesting. See, For me, it's so easy to get down to the feet. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a therapist and geez, I really
And you
don't
do
know.
this more than I do.
I do, right. But this is good for everybody to experience and see that it's not as readily evident as it is to me. And so I'm still trying to figure out ways to communicate it. But if you touch something and it's all one piece, you're touching the whole piece. You're not just touching here. And I think that's where we go awry, is that we place our very naturally we place our mind where the touch is. Or conversely, if they touch me, so if you grabbed me, because in this instance, the other instance I was touching him, but if he grabs me, the worst thing I can do is put my mind here at the point of his contact and start to fight it, okay? Because that's just muscle on muscle. Well, the first thing I need to do is release. And could you see that sinks him? And it's also, it has a tendency, and this is yi intention, it has a tendency to make you not want to fight.
Oh.
It takes away that edge. And then I can get into his fascia by turning my wrist a little bit. And so then once I have that shearing, I can't stay here. If I stay here, I won't be successful. But I just take it into his joints again and then I can make him go. Yeah. And you can see at the instant I do it, which is about a half a second before I actually engage it. So I guess to summarize it is you have to get past the point of touch. If you just reside there, that's the obvious, right? Wherever you're touching or they're touching you, that's the obvious. So always put your mind in the not obvious. Well, what's the furthest physically from not obvious is his feet. And so then you do shear a little bit, you shear to get the fascia, and then you just travel up. Now, at this point, I can get all the way down the feet immediately, but at first I had to learn, I went upstream. So as I shear it, I can really feel your wrist. I have a physical feedback loop. Then I can feel his elbow. And then as I go to his shoulder, it becomes a little more ambiguous, and then I can take it down to the feet. So the more distant you get from the point of the touch, the more it is your mind. But it really does work, and you have to just believe it and start doing it. So, and I hope that you found that helpful, and please leave comments and questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. That's so cool.